Hello detectives and Happy New Year! It is January 2017, I am back from my holidays, and that means that it is officially time to say goodbye to lovely Mistletoe and Murder for another year, and hello to all of the things that I'm doing this year. I am publishing not one, not two, but 3 new books for you to go and buy, and I am so excited about all of them. Now, the first one that I'm publishing is coming in April, and it is called Cream Buns and Crime. Here is the fantastic purple cover. I don't have the full book yet. We only just revealed the cover last month, but it is beautiful. It's going to look beautiful on shelves, and I am really, really excited about it. It is the first book in my series that isn't a full-length murder mystery. It's a group of short stories, some old and some brand new, tips and tricks on how to be a detective, recipes, some of my favorite murder mystery novels. It's great, and I'm really, really excited about it. The next thing that'll be out from me is coming in August, and that is the Guggenheim Mystery. Now, 10 years ago, Siobhan Dowd wrote The London Eye Mystery. It's a fantastic mystery novel. You will love it if you love my books, and you should all go read it now because I am writing the sequel. The thing that you are never told when you want to be an author and you are still in school is how much editing you have to do. When I was about 11 or 12, I thought that being an author was writing a story and the first draft was the story. And as I've gotten older and now that I'm published, I realized that that is not even a third, not even a quarter of the real truth of what it's like to be an author. In fact, the first draft is just the beginning. And what I spend most of my time as a writer doing is editing stories that I've already written. And that's what I'm doing this month. I'm editing my draft of the Guggenheim Mystery. I'm now on the 3rd draft of that. I'm working with my editor to tighten the plot, to make sure everything makes sense, to make sure everything reads really well, to make sure the characters are exciting, and they all seem really unique and distinct from each other. As soon as I finish that, which should hopefully be by the end of the month, my next project is something that I am super excited about and I can't wait to get to. And that is, as you can probably guess, the 6th book in the Murder Most Unladylike series. Now, if you are a fan of Hazel and Daisy and their adventures, this is the book you've been waiting for. It's coming out in October this year, and it will be set in Hong Kong. It's going to be all about Hazel and her family. So if Arsenic for Tea was Daisy's book, this is going to be Hazel's book in the same way. So you can probably guess from that a little bit about what I'm planning in terms of the plot. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I'm going to be doing over the next month or so. But what have I been reading? The first answer is something that I read over my holidays, the books that I was given for Christmas. I was given a huge pile of books for Christmas because all I ever want for Christmas is books. So I got a massive pile of books, but I chose from them 3 of my very favorites, and possibly coincidentally, all of those books are comic books, graphic novels. And here they are. 2 of them I knew already, and the 3rd was a discovery at Christmas. And now, before I talk to you about them individually, I want to talk a bit about comic books, because I think a lot of people assume that comic books are what you read if you don't really like reading, or comic books are not proper books, or comic books are not to be taken as seriously as books with no pictures in them, and that is not true. I read books with no pictures, I write books with no pictures, but I just adore comic books. I think they're fantastic. I think they're some of the most exciting ways you can possibly tell a story. I'm a massive fan of comic books, and I won't hear anything against them. And I think no matter what kind of reader you are, no matter what kind of books you like, you will find a comic book that suits your interests, and you should be reading them, because if you don't, you're just missing out. So my 3 favorite Christmas presents are, in no particular order, Lumberjanes. Lumberjanes is a fantastic ongoing series about a group of girls at summer camp. And the group of girls are quite normal, but their summer camp is anything but. The Lumberjanes camp is a place where anything can happen, and pretty much does all the time. There are dinosaurs, there are blizzards and yetis and monsters and witches and people who turn into bears and, like in this book, mermaids. It's a fantastic, completely insane series. I love it. It cracks me up, and you can read it, I think, if you are anywhere older than 8. It's perfect for any age. Next is Ms. Marvell. Ms. Marvel is a superhero, obviously. She is my very favorite superhero at the moment, and that is because she is so different from most of the superheroes that you would see in the Marvel movies or you would read in comic books or I knew about when I was growing up. First of all, she is pretty much the most normal teenager you could imagine. She goes to high school, she's kind of nerdy, she's kind of awkward, she's got a couple best friends, she doesn't really fit in anywhere. She seems a lot like me when I was 16. But the big difference about her is that she is Muslim American. Her family came from Pakistan a few generations ago. She's living with them in Jersey City now. And it is, as you probably will know, extremely rare to see anyone as the main character of a book who isn't white. It's even more rare to see anyone as the main character of a book who is Muslim. It's just almost unheard of to have a superhero who is a Muslim woman. And that is what Ms. Marvel does. It's so well written. It is so funny and brilliant and clever and exciting. And just, I love that Kamala Khan exists. She's fabulous. And finally, this is my new discovery of the Christmas. This is Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl is Doreen Green. She loves squirrels and she loves saving the world and she has superpowers and a massive fluffy tail. I can't believe I have never picked it up before. People keep telling me how great this book is and I never have tried her. I finally got given this for Christmas. It cracked me up. I laughed all the way through it. I'm going to go out and buy all of her other comics. Now, on to my next pick. And this is a book that you probably will be seeing everywhere in bookshops this month. That is because it is Waterstone's Children's Book of the Month. It is The Goldfish Boy by Lisa Thompson. It is a fantastic book. It is a genuinely clever mystery. And as you can see, there you go. I have said that on the back of the book so you know I really mean it. It is about a boy called Matthew. He's somebody who really struggles with germs and cleanliness. So as a result, he doesn't really leave his room. He sits in there all day and just watches the rest of the world. Until one day he sees something that makes him realize he may have all the clues he needs to solve a really serious crime. So Matthew is forced out of his room into the rest of the world to see if he can solve the crime and help another boy. I think you will absolutely adore it if you love my books. My next pick is another book that's for about the same age group as mine. It is Wed Wabbit by Lissa Evans. This isn't the final cover. This is what's called a proof copy, which is sent out to early reviewers to make them excited about the book. I read it and I did get excited about the book, so the proof copy worked. This is not a mystery story. It is sort of like if you took the minions from Despicable Me and you put them in Alice in Wonderland. It's about a girl called Fidge who has a younger sister who is absolutely obsessed with her stuffed toy, Wed Wabbit. She's also obsessed with a picture book about some little creatures called Wimbly Woos who sound kind of naff and corny. Until one day there's a terrible accident and Fidge is pitched into this world that seems like a darker version of the Wimbly Woo story that she was forced to read again and again to her sister. It's really, really strange, really brilliant. I absolutely adored it, couldn't put it down. You will laugh through this and be completely sucked into it. You should definitely read it. My next pick is for slightly older readers. I would say that this book is for 12 plus. It is Wing Jones by Catherine Weber, and it is beautiful. It is a romance. It is about a girl who lives in Atlanta who has a brother who is just perfect. He's great at everything. He is the golden boy until one day he is in a terrible accident. I keep choosing books this month about terrible accidents for some reason. But Marcus, her brother, is in a terrible accident, and that means that suddenly Wing gets a lot more people noticing her and looking at her. And as they do, she realizes that she always thought she was really sort of boring and normal, but actually she's a bit extraordinary too. She has a talent, and that talent is for running. She also realizes that she is deeply in love with her brother's best friend, Aaron. And this book is all about how Wing finds herself. It is lovely. It's a really wonderful, wonderful book, and you should definitely read it. My final pick for this month is my classics pick. I'll always like to end these by choosing one book that's an older detective story that influenced me when I was a kid and I think you will enjoy reading. This month it is The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. Now I chose this because I was given this book when I was 12 for Christmas, and I went to ground with it for about a week. I hid behind the sofa and just read it and read it and read it until it was finished because I had never read anything like this and I was fascinated. It is a book about mistaken identities and ghosts and bigamy and fires in the middle of the night and fantastic lady detectives. It made me realize that books for grown-ups could be just as interesting as books for children. I would recommend this for about 12 or older. It was written in the Victorian era, so it's a lot of people talking at length in words that are kind of difficult to understand. So I would probably wait to read this to get the full force of how great it is, but it is completely great and you will love it. It's kind of a mystery story before there really were detective novels. And finally, I'm going to end this by choosing something else, something non-bookish that I'm really into at the moment. Last month it was Dog Vent, the cute pictures of my friend's dog on the internet. This month it's something completely different. It is a cartoon called Steven Universe. I, as well as being really into graphic novels, am into cartoons. I completely believe that you can never be too old for anything that you actually enjoy. So please never stop reading kids' books. Please never stop watching cartoons or you are missing out. But this is a cartoon about a little boy called Stephen, whose mother was a fantastic being from another world. And now he lives with all of her friends and together they save several different universes. And it's one of those shows, you sort of watch it, you don't know how it got made, but you're really glad it did because it's brilliant. It's on Cartoon Network, I think, so go and seek that out if you can, Steven Universe. So that's pretty much my roundup. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you will keep watching, keep reading. I hope you're excited about everything that's coming up. Thank you so much and see you in February.